Mr. Zabeta, you have a right to make a statement, sir. Is there anything that you'd like to say before your sentence?
Sure.
You need to use the microphone, sir.
Can you stand up, Your Honor?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to thank my lawyer for putting together this case and for arguing it so well. I'd like to thank the court for allowing us to present the necessity defense. I hope that we can all learn something from this in our efforts to reduce greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, and hopefully that's something we're all concerned about and ideally we all work on in some way. Just to clarify from the trial, the 10-year mobilization that I mentioned in my testimony, that would have to start strong and continue strongly through each year. The Montreal Protocol started strong, and it was supported by the industry that it was regulating. The Paris Accord has started weak. It had insufficient aims. It aims for 3 degrees Celsius of warming. Dr. Gammon said that we should aim for, well, the international community agreed for 2 degrees Celsius of warming, and he thinks, and other scientists believe that that's even too high. But it has 2 and 1.5 as aspirational goals. Most significant countries are not on track to meet the Paris goals, which are already insufficient. Oil companies like Shell and BP in 2015 were planning on 5 degrees Celsius of warming. And I don't think their opinions have changed, or their plans. Our likely range of outcomes is now from 2 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. They're all above, the safe threshold. And 2 degrees would be if we did a lot of strong actions very quickly. Even then, we might not get it. I think there's a 50% chance of getting 2 degrees Celsius if we do what Dr. Gammon recommended, which is half emissions every year, global emissions. Martin Weitzman and Gernot Wagner in 2015 pinned 6 degrees Celsius warming as a 10% possibility. Martin Weitzman did not believe that humans could survive 6 degrees of warming. And there have been unexpected events since then. The Arctic has melted faster than we've expected. Brazil has cleared more of its rainforest than we expected them to. So the odds are probably higher. We don't know where all the tipping points might lie in climate change, where it goes too far, where we can't stop it. I don't think most scientists believe we're not there yet. But we don't know if at 2 degrees that will be a point where we've passed too many of them. The lower we can get our temperature, the more likely we don't pass that threshold. And so we should keep fighting for that as long as we have the opportunity to. Time matters, and we need to reduce emissions as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, and there's nothing quicker than just blocking the source of greenhouse gas emissions yourself. It's not illegal, as far as I'm aware, to walk past a burning building with people inside and not go in and try and save them. But it feels really bad to do that, to know that nobody's coming in to save them. And you can do something that, if it were to scale up, could have a significant impact on reducing emissions and pain and suffering felt by people, including yourself. We have, in the Pacific Northwest, we have a unique position. We can have an outsized influence on global emissions. We take fossil fuels from Canada through the US to Asia. Combine these 3 regions, that's over 60% of global emissions. And so we should use our ability to have an impact in this regard for the better. Again, Dr. Gammon said we should get to net zero greenhouse gases by 2050. To do that in the US alone would be the greatest human endeavor that we've ever accomplished, and we need it to happen globally. I I expect others to do similar actions, maybe not the same, but I expect others to do similar actions. I'd be disappointed if they don't. I did this out of a fear of, getting towards the higher range of 2 to 4 degrees. At 4 degrees, we could reasonably have just 1 billion people left. The people who are left have a lower standard of living. And so, I guess people who have done this, people who have blocked coal trains and done things like this, in the UK, a bunch of people blocked some roads. That did lead to the Conservative government in April to declare we'll be net zero greenhouse gases by 2050. So people who do this sort of thing, there's a number of reasons why they do it, but they don't do it for people to say that they're brave or to call them a hero or whatnot. They do it to say that anyone can do this, and they should. Time matters, and we don't have a lot of it. We have a very small window. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zabay. I'm gonna look at the other judgment sentence. Mr. Pryor, looks like you want to say something else.
Oh, no, you're not.